I'm Noah from Bad Omens.
I'm Nick.
You're watching SoundlinkTV. TV.
Yeah, so you're talking about new music and stuff. A lot of people know Vincent is not in the band anymore and stuff. So how you guys going on as you are and stuff with, maybe some new faces and all that and writing the music?
No new faces.
No new faces.
No, I made the switch to 4 strings.
Nice.
I was playing guitar every other tour before the, Trivium or Parkway tour is when I'd switch.
I think you switched on Bullet.
Oh yeah, Bullet for My Valentine.
Okay.
That was my first tour playing bass for this band. We thought it was going to be pretty cool if we didn't just bring somebody else in because we are all founding members of the band. We wanted to keep it all original and so I would love to stay a 4-piece. We've been making it work so far, and I'm excited about it. I like the change of pace. It's fun. I've had this switch the way I play the set a lot of times by now.
Yeah.
Between playing leads, playing rhythm, and now I play a completely different instrument. But it's cool. We enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned writing new music instead of the tour and all that and everything. And so you guys do have a new single out, which is really good. I enjoy that single. It's a really good song and stuff. And so where are you guys going with this next record? You said it's already written and everything. Yeah. And so what vibe compared to the original record are you guys putting out? What kind of new territories are you guys going into? And whoever wants to talk about that one.
I guess I'll talk about it. Well, we kind of wanted to treat this record the same way we treated our first record, at least in the regard of diversity, and in the sense that we didn't want to compound just one sound, on an entire album. Yeah. And we have a new song coming out on Black Friday. I don't even know if this interview will be out by the time. Okay, well, yeah, I think we're going to probably say something soon, but yeah, we have a new song coming, and it's already way different than the first single we just put out a couple months ago. And, as much as the majority of our fans really appreciated the new single, there was obviously the handful of guys that were like, oh, we want more glass houses, we want more like heaviness, and I'm really excited to put this one out because it's just a kind of a reminder, we did not abandon that whatsoever. We are still the same band. We're still writing Worst in Me's. We're still writing Exit Wounds. We're still writing The Malice. We're still bringing The Malice. We're still doing that. So it's, I guess, as far as new music goes, I like to keep it up to mystery and to speculation, to whatever you want to make of it. But I think that people will like it. In my opinion, it's just a better version of our first album. With lessons learned that we regret songwriting from the first one, things we would have done differently, or we've grown as songwriters and musicians. We just got better and better. So I like to think that album 2 is just a better version of our first one, and I still love our first one.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the last time we'll talk about the new record and everything is I remember the first time we talked to you guys, you told us that it was basically you and a producer, you went to California or something, and you guys wrote the record together. With this, I guess being more of a band effort, maybe I'm assuming this go around. How was the writing different this time around versus the first time around?
Well, the first album, we wrote it all in Folio's basement. Nick Folio, our drummer. Some of the songs were on an EP that never got released, and then we rewrote them and reworked them, and Nick brought in better riff ideas and improved on them, and Charlie brought in a lot of productional elements, and I like to be involved in all that, but I kind of took most charge with the vocals and the lyrics, the way that with help from Vincent, he was a big part of that on album 1. And it's kind of the same thing with this album. Jolly and I work mostly together because we live together in California, and Nick are both still on the East Coast, and pretty much they come out and they fine-tune things that we have kind of laid the foundation for, But as far as the process goes, it's pretty much me and Jolly lay the foundation, the bass line, the skeleton. He does a lot of really interesting production things. I write the melodies and the lyrics for the vocals, and then we kind of just team up and hash at it and fine-tune it. And then, Folio does his thing on the drums and gets to add his, character and flair, his percussional flair. And then Nick comes in and he's the voice of reason. That's that's kind of corny, or that's kind of stupid. Maybe we shouldn't do that. And I'm yeah, if you say so. Because Nick's just the perfect medium neutral guy. Not an argumentative bone in his body. You know what I mean? It's just such a very helpful, friend. Yeah, totally unbiased. Just such a good guy to have to just say, to be totally upfront and be like, that's whack. You know what I mean?
So who tells you your stuff's whack? if it ever is.
Oh, I was the middle child, so I had to learn really quickly how to be mediator between all the siblings.
I don't know, you look kind of like one of those like very peaceful guys with like the hair and you're all bundled up here and stuff. You look kind of like the whole like you got the Zen thing going on, and so you got the whole like, I don't know.
Stress is a killer. You can't do it.
You could probably hold one of those like motivational speaker like conferences and tour, make a bunch of money out, and be one of those guru type guys maybe. You think you could pull that off? Being one of those gurus that make all that money and give life advice? And
I think he'd be more of like a silent monk. You know, people would just watch in awe while he said nothing, and that would say more words than he could ever say.
Okay, it's still not a bad gig right there.
They would look in his green eyes and just, I get it.
Like that one dude, like people look at him and they're healed or whatever that guy was. Like
his eyes and everything made sense.
It's just the vibe, you know. Like you get around certain people and you vibe with them, and they have an energy that just you're drawn to, you're attracted to. And we've been best friends longer than anyone in the band. Like I've known him longest since like I think about 10 years now. And it's like I can't think of a moment where I'm ever like, oh, I'm sick of Nick. You know what I mean? It's like I get sick of everyone in the band, everyone in the crew, but it's like Nick's the one guy that's like, yo, let's just go hang out. You know what I mean?
So got the little bromance going on here.
For sure.
Nice. Yeah, there we go. All right, guys. So you know, we're trying to get this thing out as soon as possible and stuff. So like, you know, Christmas, Thanksgiving's around the corner. So what's like a goofy or tradition you may have with your family or something you guys like to do?
Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Nothing really goofy. You go home and you spend your time with your family and just make sure everybody knows you appreciate them and get your time in before you have to go back out.
That's whack.
It is whack. Nothing. We already watched The Grinch.
There you go. Already? No, that's a crime right there. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. You already watched it.
Had to see the new Grinch.
Okay. What about you? Is there anything like cool or interesting your family does?
Not really. I don't really go back home to visit my family on the holidays. I just stay in California and work if we're not on tour. Okay. So.
All right. Well, what do you do then? Like, what's your, I guess, new traditions or whatever, being out there?
I don't know. I'm not like a big holiday guy or a birthday guy. Like, I think if you're over the age of 13, like, and you like bring up your birthday like more than once in the week that it happens, like you gotta chill. You know what I mean? Like, is your cool, dude? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, to a degree. I'm more so talking about the people that just think that like the world revolves around them when it's their birthday. It's like, yo, it's like 6 billion other people's birthday probably today. You know what I mean? Like.
All right, guys. Well, it's cool talking to you guys once again. Love the new single, like I said. Looking forward to the new record. Glad to hear it's done and it's coming out like next year probably, since you guys are doing that early next year and everything. So, anything else you guys want to add or chime in?
Just check out the new single when it drops on Black Friday. Okay. Hope you enjoy it. Yeah. It's a heavy one.
Okay. I already like it then. I already like it. I can say that.
I'm very excited to get this new material out there. I'm a big fan of it. We've been sitting on it for a very long time, and every time I hear it, it's still sick. So.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm Trenton with SoundlinkTV. We're here with Bad Omens. Thanks for watching, everybody.